Everyone, welcome back to Evony with Genghis. So this is partially a public service announcement, and then big news in the Evony community. So first thing we're going to look at here is the new Wheel of Civilization. I called this Taiki's Wheel 2.0. Well, if you look at these noble coins you can purchase them in packs. One of the strategies that people used to do was they'd save them up. And, if you look at this wheel, and it used to have 30 fragments, right? You needed 30 fragments to get something. So you'd save them up because you'd be like, hey man, the Plantagenet bow is here and I need 30 fragments. So I'm going to save up over 3 or 4 events and don't spin the wheel at all. And then I'm going to spin it all at once with 8,000 coins and get my bow. That was a good strategy. But look what Evony has done. So Evony has now written in here, it will turn into a noble coin chest after the event ends. Some people didn't notice this. So they ran 4 straight, I think it was, or was it 3 straight civilization wheels, and the coins stayed for all of those wheels. But at the end, they disappeared. I actually noticed, I don't buy these coins, but I noticed doing GK Realty on a player's account a little while ago that he had all these coins. So I looked at them and they did say, in fact, say will turn into a chest. But Evony didn't do this historically. And this, anyways, one viewer woke up this morning, all his coins he'd been saving up, like this is, hundreds of dollars, maybe thousands, all turned into chests, materials, like stuff that isn't rare. So he's furious, obviously, and rightfully so. He's like, I have thousands of items in my inventory. I don't click on them all. I buy stuff, I leave it, I get to it later, and then all of a sudden I wake up and they're gone when I want to use them because a new wheel came out and I was about to use the coins. So I don't know. I agree with him. So he's talking about chargebacks. He's asking me how to do it. I don't know how to do it. I know lots of people who claim to do it. So it should be easy to find someone to walk you through the procedure, but I don't know how to do it. I don't do it. And anyways, this brings me to the other scary moment that is going on in Evony right now. So about a year ago, Evony dropped K40. And when they dropped K40, one of the things they did right away was they hammered people with alts. And they confiscated resources, and they sent some super vague email. I got one on a family member. Took, I feel like it was maybe 3 billion resources at the time. I can't remember. It wasn't much now that we look at today's, but back then there was no Yemers, so there was a lot of resources. And I was upset. And I kept writing Evony and saying yo, I'm a YouTuber. I'll give you guys bad press. I just want to know what's going on. If you can actually explain to me what's going on, I won't be upset. But they didn't. It was just a vague email. And it said something like, against the terms of service, bad purchases or something like this. I can't even remember what it said. It was so bad. Anyways, one of the things in the last developer call with Evony that I told them was, you need to get someone who speaks Mandarin and English, maybe a Chinese person who went to school in America to be your customer service rep, because people just don't understand what you're talking about. And that's what infuriates people. So they seem to have listened. Check these messages out that people got today. Dear player, we've detected behavior that goes against the terms of service you agreed to when playing Evony. Specifically, your account has been flagged as sharing account login details and involved with fraudulent payment activity, resulting in a balance owed us for the in-game services that we have provided. What have we done? We have zeroed your gem balance. This payment issue will need to be resolved before you could further obtain and use gems. Actions required by you. You need to contact CS as soon as possible to resolve the outstanding payment issue. Once paid, the gem balance will be revised. We look forward to working with you. And then another one. We've detected behavior that goes against the terms of service you agreed to when playing Evony. Specifically, your account has been flagged as sharing login details and involved with fraudulent payment activity, resulting in a balance owed to us. You need to stop such activities as soon as possible. We look forward to working with you. So one seems more like a slap on the hand, this one, and this one seems more serious. Yeah, so I don't know what Evony is going to do here. Like, so do you contact them and then they give you a package to buy, but there's nothing in it? Like, hey, buy this package for $800 that you owe us, and you get nothing. I don't know. They didn't offer that last time, so I can't walk people through this, what's going to happen. But I'm assuming this is large amounts of money, like $10,000, something like that. And no one's going to pay that. People are just going to be like, no, because like I can't trust that you're going to let me off the hook. You might the equivalent of like deport somebody. The reason I say that is I know people who've lived in other countries overseas and they've been told like, hey, you broke the law, tell us the truth, tell us this, and it'll all be good. And that's it. And then they got deported for admitting to it. And anyways, so I feel like that's what Evony would do. I think Evony will take your money and kick you out of the game. So my advice, I don't know if I would pay them on this. I think I just walk away and buy someone's account. Or just walk away and play another game that wants your money. But the reason why Evony's upset about this is what happens. So there are good pack loaders, people who do it fairly. For example, someone might be using a currency arbitrage. They live in a better country with a different currency, or maybe there's a discount program, or they got gift cards for Christmas, like from Apple Pay or Google Play, and they got like $1,000, and they're like, hey, I just want 800 for it. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. Pack loading. Evony's gonna get their money. They don't care. But what happens sometimes is someone could have a stolen credit card. Like if you find someone on a Facebook group who's gonna pack load, or all these messages we get spammed with, and then you take them up on it. It might be a stolen credit card. Evony gets their $1,000. You give the guy $700. You get your items. You're happy. Well, fast forward a year, and fraud department calls Evony and says, hey, that credit card was stolen. Evony's now out their $1,000, but you have your items. So that's when Evony is upset. So this is probably what happened in these cases. I don't know. But Evony seems to actually give some specific information this time. So you might be able to figure it out by asking them. But for the most part, if you did it, you know you did it. If you bought the account, you don't know, right? But that's the risk you take, and that's why you get something for 1% of the hundreds of thousands of dollars that was spent by somebody else. Anyways, let me know if you know anyone who's been hit by this. I personally do not. I just got messages from other players. But on my old server, the last time they cracked down, man, half the server lost resources. But there was no option to pay and get them back. And this was pre-Yemers. I lost like $3 billion on one of my family members. The wife was so upset. And, I was writing Evony on her behalf and being like, yo, I'm a YouTuber. This isn't fair. You have to tell me what's going on. I'm going to make all sorts of videos about it. And they didn't care. Evony does not care what I say. Evony is doing fine monetarily, as you saw in Singh's video today. Anyways, let me know if anyone on your server got hit by it. I don't think it's going to be as widespread as the last one, but I'm sure they're running through the servers like in batches and catching people. They seem to do this about once a year, go through fraud. Anyways, Genghis, like, subscribe, leave a comment.